Indira's World. Hi again. Now, in case you haven't been on the show before, lucky you, we're in for a summer treat, pruning the lamb and trimming the wedges. So needless to say, it's lamb and potato wedges. Without further ado, let's take a trip to Tunisia stroke, Morocco stroke, Indira's World. Right, today we're going to be doing pruning the lamb, as I said. So we've got 2 lamb shanks here. We've got a cup full of prunes here, pitted and all ready. Half an onion, a tablespoon of cumin powder, salt to taste, a tablespoon of honey. And here I have a cinnamon stick, 3 cloves of garlic, and just under a tablespoon of ginger. Now here, the magic ingredients is harissa paste. Now this is made of chilies. You soak them in water, take the ends off, and grind that together with caraway seeds, coriander, lemon juice. You can use vinegar, it lasts longer, olive oil and garlic. And this you can actually keep in your fridge. It's used for a lot of different tagines and so on and so forth. Today we are going to make a tagine, but I am not going to be cooking it in a tagine. I will probably stew it and then serve it as a tagine. A bit of a cheating thing, but that's okay. So without further ado, I'm going to mix it all up and show you how to do it. Right, I'm getting my pan quite hot now. I've slightly seared the lamb shanks and got them ready. So 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to have 2 tablespoons here. That's 1 and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. To this I'm going to add half a chopped onion and there you go, a tablespoon of cumin powder, ginger, just under a tablespoon. That's up to you how much you want. A stick of cinnamon and 3 cloves of garlic. Now, you don't have to have that much garlic, but I prefer to, because with red meat as well, it cuts out the fat, you know, thins the blood, all that. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of my homemade harissa paste. You can get this in supermarkets, so don't panic. Not the end of the world. Now I am also going to add the lamb shanks to this, which, as I said, I slightly seared earlier, and there it goes. Now, to stew these till they're soft, around 45 minutes, by the time I shower, etc., I'm going to add 2 cups of water. Now, you can add stock, but I think the lamb has enough flavor of its own and all the additives in it. It's pretty good. So I'm adding 2 full cups of water. To this I'm adding my cup of pitted prunes, which are absolutely lovely and splashed all over, and 1 whole tablespoon of delicious honey from around the area, which is always nice, because when you have honey around the area, it actually prevents hay fever, producing antibodies, all that sort of thing. Now I'm going to leave this to cook 45 minutes. You check it and halfway through flip them over and just have a look to make sure it's nice and soft before you turn it off. Now this has been cooking away for actually over 45 minutes, to be fair, and look at that consistency now of that gravy, because all the juices have sunk into that lovely lamb shank and the prunes have all dissolved. Now that's pretty much ready to go, so I'm going to move that and move on to the next dish. Moving on to the next one, trimming the wedges. Now I've taken the 2 large potatoes and cut them into little wedges, maybe 2.5, I cheated. Now to this, I have put a cup of stock. I've used a stock cube and a cup of water and a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. So that's a cup of water, a stock cube, a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. To that, I'm going to add now this is a lemon that's been left in brine in salt water and finely chopped into. I've left this in there. You can buy these pickled lemons ready, and after a few days they look somewhat like this. You can use limes or lemon. These are Middle Eastern lemons. To that, I've taken a minced spoon of the lemon, pop that in, a few bits of herbs and rosemary in there, and black olives. Now I've used pitted ones and otherwise. And I'm keeping with this theme of Tunisia, Morocco, all that, because it kind of is nice. So again, the olive oil is going to keep that moist. This is one way of having wedges without having the fats. We don't want to be frying it. Now because there's a stock cube in there, I'm only putting very little salt in there. Now this is going into the oven for 45 minutes as well, around 170 degrees. And you know, it should go all golden brown and wonderful, and the juices will make it cook without actually deep frying it. So this is a nice option for wedges without the fat. And there we have it. It's all ready. My beautiful tagine. If I say so myself, it does look rather nice. Oops. There you go. And let's get some of this stuff on there. The potato wedges. Yeah, now look at these. These potato wedges are lovely. Now you can cook them for a little bit longer, get them a little browner and crisper if you like. Now I've put some couscous as a side order here. Not necessary if you don't want it, if you want the potatoes by itself, but I do like a bit of couscous. There is my cinnamon. And look at that prune, look at those juices. Good God, it tastes good. I'm going to tuck in a minute. And then I will see you next week. Until then, bon appetit, if I say so myself. Are following me on IndiraasWorld, thank you so much, and I hope you're enjoying this journey. And to those who aren't, please do follow me on IndiraasWorld, and I will be touching base with you every week on these rather healthy options for you. And on that note, I shall see you next week, and don't forget to give me a